Oh man. Hey, goodness to you. This is Sporty King. And I say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Welcome to Gift Friday, or as I've decided to call today, Gift Blur Friday. I don't know about your screen. I'm having technological wonders here, and mine's just looking blurry. I thought it was because I didn't have my glasses on, but we'll see how the we'll see how the tape comes out. But maybe it's coming out. But I just wanted to tell you that in case yours looks blurred, and you say, "Oh, well, what's the matter with my camera?" Nothing. It's blurry on this end. I hope yours is clear. But look. So often we've heard the term TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And this is why I created this broadcast, because I say, what allure does Friday have to the person who took their last breath on Thursday or any day before that, for that matter? Yet, instead, I use what I learned through Psalm 92 and 2. And that is, it is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. And therefore, I use what I learned instead of TGIF, I use TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. And allows me to add another scriptural reference, and that is Matthew 6 and 34. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Thank God it's tonight. Today's trouble is enough for today. Thank God it's today. You see, it doesn't matter what order you say it in, but you know that it never loses that order. And it always allows us to really understand what we should be giving God thanks for, and that is today. But first, I want to offer you another way of looking at TGIF, and that is trusting God is free. Trusting God is free. Recognize what it costs you to receive the greatest gift of every day. The gift of waking up doesn't cost you a dime. But that still moves us to realizing that when we take the T in TGIF and move it from the front to the end, we get GIFT. And we get what we should always be willing to thank God for, and that is the gift of another day, because we see what God is really doing for us. Thus, Gift Friday is GIFT. God is for today. That's where his presence needs to be felt and seen, and recognize that tomorrow was a part of today. And we have to know how to look back on the joy that has passed and the joy that's yet to come. So, Gift Friday is my online sharing of one of my poetic messages, including my original poetry or just the message. And then what I will do from there, I'll read the poem here and then give you an idea of how you might use it and apply it to your life. But if you like a keepsake copy of the poem and you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn and you're on my mailing list, just say, Sporty, send me a copy of the poem. If you're not on my mailing list, please use sporty@sportyking.com and email me your requests. Reason I say that is because when you email me, I'll be sending you a colorful PDF copy. If you're not on my mailing list, your security will block that as spam, and then it won't get through to you, and you think I didn't follow up. And follow up is so important in my life and yours. So again, if you're on my mailing list already, just drop that note in there, say, Sporty, send me a copy. Not on the mailing list, sporty@sportyking.com. If you're on YouTube or watching on my website, put your request in the comments, not in the thread, because the thread get erased once the broadcast is over. This week, I've chosen a poem from my book, A Poet in Every Prophet. It's a book that reminds and encourages any writer that their gift cannot be measured by public approval. The words you put on paper are gifted to you from God as only you can express them. You may not be a prophet by the dictionary definition, yet there are times where your words foretell the future. So, above all things, consider each poem you write as a gift, and consider it as good, for it is an expression through you for someone you may never meet. And in that vein, I've chosen this poem in the book to challenge us to think about how we judge one another harshly in the same breath that asks that we be respected for our position or stand on an issue or a decision we've made. I liken it to how divisive our political system can be. And I choose to share it to affirm where I stand and accept that there are those who do not stand with me in this space. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with where I stand, and I expect to be respected for it without violence or even anger. This poem is called So What Do Animals and Bugs Think About? And I remember when it first came to me as an inspiration, I was driving and I love long drives and especially through country roads and stuff. And I'm driving and I'm just think about it. When you drive, you just look and you see animals, you see horses just standing there, cows, and so that's what brought this to my mind. So what do animals and bugs think about? Do horses stress about how they'll do in the next race? And when they get to the gate, are they hoping they don't make a fool of themselves and risk the chance of dying from embarrassment or what the papers will say about them tomorrow? Or even worse, what the other horses might say. And do greyhounds feel that way? Do squirrels consider unionizing to balance the scale and earn meals or vacation time? Hmm, maybe ants do. Are birds focused on redeeming frequent flyer miles or wondering how people walk? While chickens, pigs, and cows try to deal with low self esteem by eating and lobbying to get organ donor rights tax deductible? And will white cats refuse to play with black ones, or mixed, old, or young ones? Can frogs relate to tadpoles, or butterflies show a caterpillar the same patience as an understanding, though skeptical owl? What percentage of buzzards worry about cholesterol and diabetes or monkeys' high blood pressure? If the Democratic lioness runs on a feminist platform and takes the risk of political suicide by splitting the panda vote, do ducks care? Are bulls shallow? Can snakes rest on their laurels or parrots keep a secret? And how much do bugs appreciate life before deciding to attack a windshield? You know what? Animals and bugs could learn a lot from us. As I said, I'm okay with the fact. I wanted to choose to share this to affirm where I stand and accept that there are those who do not stand with me in this space. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with where I stand, and I expect to be respected for it without violence. I'm okay with where I stand, and I expect to be expected for it without violence or anger. I encourage you to vote blue next week. Do not take the election for granted based on the fact that you think, well, my vote doesn't count. It does. And you have to look at the issues that you believe in. Please continue to share and enjoy your opinion and recognize that if that TGIT, thank God it's today and thank God it's tonight, you have the opportunity to wake up, make a decision, make a choice, and then go to sleep with your conscience clear because it's not always going to turn out the way you want it to. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn and you're on my mailing list, you like a copy, just put that in the thread. If you're watching, if you're not on my mailing list, I'll need you to email to sporty@sportyking.com. If you're on YouTube or my website, put that in the comments section. And remember, and I didn't even there's that information for where you can send it. Okay. But again, the key is remember that joy comes in the morning. I want you to always thank God for today because that is what his gift is all about. Look, I'm going to be gone for the weekend. sharing my time with my military family, talking about life, lessons intended for everyone. That's what I call it. But I'm going to be safe. You be safe too, and have a wonderfully safe weekend. And I'll quickly click on some shout outs, which is something I started to do new on Fridays, where I normally don't have an interactive session, but I just want to thank you for tuning in. So hey, Sabrina, coming in from Chicago. I'm from Charlotte. Met years ago, and blue to the bone. Amen. Thank you. And I appreciate that. And emailing Sabrina, I actually think I have you, but thank you for doing that. And then I'll just be able to double check. And then Zelda coming in from Chicago, Grand Rising. Thanks for sharing your joy. Enjoy JOY. Just one you. Think about what Zelda just said. Thanks for sharing your joy. Share who you are, because no one can share it like you. Amen. God bless you, and have a wonderfully safe weekend. Over and out. As Sabrina would say, Sabrina, by the way, not Sabrina, as she would say, thank you. And as I would say, ciao.